At 3 a.m. in the freezing Russian desert, a Ukrainian drone operator has his finger hovering over a kill switch. In exactly 180 seconds, Vladimir Putin is going to lose his newest, scariest toy, the Oreshnik hypersonic missile, before it even leaves the ground. If he succeeds, he turns $50 million of Russian tax rubles into the world's most expensive pile of burning trash. The countdown started 3 minutes ago. 2:57 a.m., a massive 12-wheeled TEL vehicle groans as it rolls out of the assembly hangar. Strapped to its back is the Oreshnik IRBM. This is a Mach 10 monster capable of hitting London in minutes. But right now, it is naked. It hasn't activated its defenses. It hasn't reached the hardened bunker a mile down the road. It is just a slow, fat target rolling through the open desert. 12 miles away, the Ukrainian operator adjusts his FPV goggles. His drones are flying at 30 feet. They are hugging the terrain so tight they are practically cutting the grass. To the Russian radar looking for high-altitude bombers, these drones are just ground clutter. But the clock is the real enemy. The TL vehicle is picking up speed. In 3 minutes, it reaches the bunker doors. Once it's inside, it's game over. And to make matters worse, a Russian security patrol, 2 Tiger armored vehicles, is scanning the dunes just 2 miles from the truck. They heard an engine. They are coming to check. The operator takes a breath. He has 180 seconds to kill the missile, evade the patrol, and vanish. 3:01 a.m., the canvas cover of the nondescript flatbed truck snaps back with a hydraulic hiss. To any passing satellite, it looked like a boring delivery vehicle hauling potatoes. Surprise, it's a mobile airbase. 10 custom-built FPV drones scream out of the hidden launch rails, their motors whining like angry hornets. They drop immediately to deck level, hovering just 30 feet off the hard-packed sand. The operator pushes the throttle to the stops. The swarm accelerates to 90 miles per hour, weaving through the sand dunes in a chaotic zigzag pattern. This isn't a standard military formation, it looks more like a high-stakes Formula 1 race with no rules. The genius here is the audacity. The Russians believe this vast empty desert is their security buffer. They think 20 miles of sand makes them safe. But to the Ukrainian operator, this empty space isn't a barrier, it's a drag strip. While the S-400 radars are staring uselessly at the stratosphere, the Ukrainian swarm is treating the desert floor like the Nürburgring, closing the distance to the target at breakaway speed. The safe zone just became the kill zone. 3:02 a.m. The trap springs with theatrical perfection. 3 decoy drones suddenly break formation, climbing to 500 feet and lighting up the S-400's radar like a Christmas tree. The Russian Pantsir battery bites hard, launching 2 Mach 4 interceptors that instantly turn the cheap plastic bait into expensive fireballs. Inside the command vehicle, the crew celebrates, convinced they've wiped out the threat. It is a fatal moment of dramatic irony. While they high-five over destroying $1,000 worth of toys, the 7 real killer drones slip underneath the radar horizon at 30 feet, invisible and untouched. Putin boasts about unstoppable meteorites, but the real danger is currently skimming the sand, and the Russians are looking the wrong way. 3:02 a.m. Ukraine isn't trying to overwhelm the base with a massive, noisy swarm of hundreds. They are using a silent killer concept. The remaining 7 drones aren't flying like a chaotic mob, they are moving with the precision of a synchronized swim team, operating in total radio silence. By hugging the deck at just 30 feet, they exploit the one weakness of the Kapustin Yar proving grounds, its perfect flatness. Without hills to hide behind, they use the curvature of the earth and the ground clutter to blend in with the sagebrush. But the real game changer is the software. These aren't standard remote-controlled quads relying on a constant link to the operator. They are running advanced AI edge computing algorithms. Before they even launched, the drones were fed visual data of the Oreshnik TEL. They know exactly what the target looks like. They don't need the operator to hold their hand. They are locked on visually, tracking the massive vehicle like a pack of wolves stalking a bison. While the Russian electronic warfare units are blasting the airwaves to jam control signals, the drones are ignoring the noise entirely, flying by sight alone. It is a technological checkmate. Russia brought a jammer to a knife fight. 3:03 a.m. The mission instantly shifts from a remote airstrike to a desperate fight for survival. While the drones are hunting the missile, the Russian military is hunting the operator. An Orlan 10 reconnaissance UAV buzzes overhead, its thermal cameras locking onto the heat signature of the flatbed truck hidden in the dunes. Miles away, a Russian rapid response patrol consisting of 2 Tiger armored vehicles tears across the sand, their headlights cutting through the dark. They are closing the net. Inside the truck, the operator wipes sweat from his eyes. His spotter screams the warning. Patrol inbound, 90 seconds to contact. Simultaneously, the Russian base plays its final defensive card. The massive Rubicon electronic warfare complex surges to full power. It doesn't just jam frequencies, it practically microwave cooks the airwaves. The video feeds on the operator's console fracture into static. Signal lost! The operator yells, his hands shaking on the controller. I can't steer them! For a split second, it looks like a total mission failure. The Russians think they have won. Their radar is clear, the jamming is working, and the patrol is closing in on the saboteurs. But here's the twist. The drones don't need a pilot anymore. The edge computing AI chips on board detect the signal loss and execute a pre-programmed kill protocol. They stop listening for radio commands and start looking. The cameras scan the horizon, ignoring the electronic noise and searching for the specific geometry of the TEL vehicle. At the same moment, the operator's secure phone buzzes. It's not an error message, it's a lifeline from a local SBU agent watching the patrol from a ridgeline. The text is short. Patrol took the wrong ravine. You have 2 kilometers of breathing room. The hunters have been outfoxed. The operator takes a breath, watching the telemetry stabilize as the AI takes the wheel. 03:04 a.m. The surviving drones, now flying autonomously, pop up over the final dune. They are 43 seconds away. The Russian crew at the bunker entrance finally sees them, not on radar, but with their own terrified eyes. The ground clutter has transformed into a swarm of kamikazes. The alarms scream, but it is too late for technology. The only thing left is a foot race between a hypersonic missile moving at 5 miles per hour and a drone moving at 90. The countdown has reached 0, 03:05 a.m. Through the grainy digital feed of the lead FPV drone, the Oreshnik missile fills the screen. It looks less like a weapon of war and more like a skyscraper on wheels. The camera zooms in, locking onto the exposed fuel section just above the transporter's cab. The situation is agonizingly tight. The massive reinforced concrete doors of the underground bunker are slowly grinding open, revealing the safety of the dark tunnel inside. The TEL vehicle is just 30 seconds away from crossing that threshold. If it makes it inside, the mission fails. Meanwhile, back at the launch site, the reprieve is over. The Russian Tiger patrol vehicles have corrected their course and are cresting the final dune, their high beams flooding the Ukrainian truck with blinding white light. Bullets kick up sand just feet from the operator's bumper. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't run. He is entirely focused on the pixelated image of the missile 12 miles away. His heart is hammering against his ribs like a trapped bird, but his hands are surgically steady. Close the door, he whispers. On screen, the Russian security troops guarding the missile finally react. They spot the incoming swarm and open fire with AK-12 rifles, filling the air with tracers. It is a futile gesture, like trying to stop a swarm of angry hornets with a fly swatter. The lead drone ignores the gunfire, ignores the jamming, and ignores the bunker doors. It dives. The distance drops to 0. The last thing the camera sees is the terrifyingly smooth skin of the hypersonic weapon right before the screen cuts to static. The lead drone slams into the midsection of the TEL vehicle, and for a split second, time seems to freeze. The 7-kilogram shaped charge acts like a match thrown into a gasoline factory, instantly igniting the thousands of pounds of volatile solid rocket fuel packed inside the missile. Physics takes a permanent vacation as the casing cracks, and the Oreshnik, designed to travel at Mach 10, achieves 0 miles per hour while transforming into a cloud of molten aluminum and burning composite. The resulting detonation is a vaporization event that turns the Astrakhan night into noon. A massive fireball erupts, consuming the launcher, the transport vehicle, and the nearby assembly hangar in a single breath. The shockwave ripples outward, shattering the windows of the bunker complex and forcing the Russian patrol crews chasing the Ukrainian truck to slam on their brakes, staring in horror as their invincible assignment becomes a mushroom cloud. But as the smoke rises over Kapustin Yar, it signals something far worse for the Kremlin than just lost hardware. With this strike, the Oreshnik has officially been inducted into the humiliating Hall of Fame of Russian failures, joining the ghosts of the flagship cruiser Moskva, the vaporized A-50 spy planes, and the Tu-22 bombers incinerated deep inside the Arctic Circle. It is the same story, written in fire. Ukraine systematically hunting down the extinct species of the Russian military, dismantling the myth of invincibility piece by billion-dollar piece. The geopolitical shockwaves of this explosion will hit Moscow harder than the blast itself. Vladimir Putin built the Oreshnik for one specific reason: blackmail. It was his ultimate red line, a hypersonic stick designed to tell NATO, "I have a weapon you can't touch." Well, Ukraine didn't just touch it, they snapped it in half before he could even swing it. By vaporizing this doomsday weapon over 400 miles deep inside Russian territory, Ukraine has erased Putin's leverage. How can you threaten the world with an unstoppable missile when you can't even protect it from a $500 racing drone in your own backyard? Back in the desert, the Ukrainian truck disappears into the dunes, leaving the Russians to guard a pile of expensive ash. The message sent tonight is crystal clear. Stop fearing escalation. Russia keeps trying to intimidate the world with fancy hypersonic toys, but Ukraine keeps proving that they can dismantle those toys with duct tape, cheap electronics, and pure audacity. The bottom line is simple: give up, Russia. Your doomsday weapons are just expensive confetti now. You can build the fastest missiles on Earth, but they are useless if they can't make it out of the parking lot. Slava Ukraini! And hey, Putin, next time you assemble a super weapon in the desert, maybe remember to lock the garage door.